Hello, everybody. This is Dennis Fletcher and Royal Mortier from Pliris. We're going to do our webinar now. Just before we do that, let me just inform everybody. This is being recorded. This will be on a public forum on YouTube afterwards. If you do not want to partake in that, please let me know in the chat. Do not put your video on and do not speak. If that's the case, you can put your questions. Actually, everybody can put their questions in the chat. I will do that for you. But if you don't want known who it is, that's fine. I just ask that you go ahead and let me know now. Otherwise, without further ado, this is Royal with Pliris.
Hey everyone. Dennis, are you able to see my screen, my share?
I can.
Perfect. All right. It's showing the screen share on one screen, but then it's showing that I got the
Yeah,
presentation on the other. So
I understand.
yeah, technology is sometimes it likes to play tricks on us.
Yep.
Um, so my name is Roy Mortier. I founded a company called Pliris, and what I'll and just kind of give you the presentation is just very, very loose on that. Just provide some structure and some stuff for me to reference to. The photos that you guys see are all renderings or professional photos of. These are all homes that we market on our PLIRIS Plans website. And I'll provide you guys some designation of what PLIRIS is versus what PLIRIS Plans is. And and so, like this home, this is a very popular home with one of our designers out of the Northwest called Design Basics. And
Hey, Royal.
yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but everybody's having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, all
Is
right.
there any way for you to raise your volume or get the microphone closer?
Is that is that better?
It's better on my end. I
Okay.
didn't have too much of a problem, but I think it's better.
Okay.
Um,
We've got the sensitivity on everything tuned up. Yeah. So let me see if that helps anybody. I can.
well, you're a lot louder. When I say louder, you're clearer in my headphones, so I think that would
Okay.
be better. If
Okay.
anybody
Perfect.
still has a problem, let me know.
All right. I did move the mic closer, so that should work. All right. Um, so back into so this is one of the homes that we feature in or we market on Pliris Plans from one of our designers, Design Basics, and we'll kind of dive more into that. So, oh come on, now it's going to be finicky. All right, we'll do this. There we go. A little background on me. I started in construction at 15 um, and started in residential construction, worked my way up to being mainly working in the summers and on weekends for builders. My dad was also in construction, so I provided an in on that and worked my way up. I was a superintendent for a builder at 19. I fixed and flipped a couple homes and then decided to go back to college. And I graduated from Oregon State in '09, which was not a good time to be graduating with anything construction related. Luckily, during that time, I had served in the Army Reserves and I was able to get a job with the military as a civilian and with veterans preference and kind of worked that way. And then I had an opportunity to come on with a engineering firm that we grew pretty significantly. We had an engineering division and a building code consulting division, and we were the third party building department for over 60 jurisdictions across Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. And and that's kind of where I originally got the idea of Pliris. And then I decided to launch Pliris. I launched it in March of 2020, 2 weeks before the lockdown started, and launched this as a 100% mobile engineering firm, which proved to be of a benefit with what was to come in the rest of 2020. Um, PLIRIS is Greek for complete, which goes directly with our mission statements, which is complete plans, period. So our goal at PLIRIS is to be a one-stop shop for for the clients, whether that's us, somebody purchasing a architectural design that we have on our website, PLIRIS Plans, from one of our designers, or us doing a custom design, which we don't do very much of, or with us servicing builders now in 13 states where we either do everything architectural, structural, MEP, energy code, or they have in-house designers or an in-house plan library, and then we're handling the remaining parts. So that's the goal of PLIRIS. Um, sorry, there we go. So kind of go over today just who we serve, our PLIRIS portal, and then kind of some of our newer innovations. So we'll start. Um, the biggest bucket of our work is our home builders. We do this year, we'll probably do well over 2,000 houses. We're already around, we're only into this, we're only part way into March, and we're already well into 300 doors that we've issued complete plans for this year. And it just keeps on growing. So we'll probably be north of over 2,000. With that said, we have one of our builders grew pretty significantly with some recent acquisitions. And just from one of the builders we serve, if we take over their entire process, that would be 4,000 to 5,000 homes just with that one builder this year. So 2,000 is a very conservative estimate. Um, Architects and designers. So we do offer just engineering services. We'll offer, whatever services that you need to complete your projects. So if it's hey, we provided the design and we're in Arizona and we need the structural engineering and we need the mechanical, electrical, and the plumbing ISOs done and a gas ISO. We do all of that. So we really try and have everything under one roof for you. We're not farming this out. We're not subcontracting everything. Every team member you're working with is a PLIRIS team member. And then kind of our smallest bucket right now is definitely our individual owners, purchasers of, whether they're buying a house plan from our website or they're having us custom design a house ground up for them. That's kind of our smallest portion right now, but our house plan sales continue to grow every month, so that's nice to see. So for home builders, like I said, we provide everything. We have contracted project turnaround times, reproductions. So, development builders, we have a reproduction system. Those repros, we contract with 48 hours. We're typically within 24 hours. And then we also offer full custom engineering. And again, we contract for 10 days. That's not 10 business days, that's 10 days. And right now we're averaging around 5 to 6 days on turnaround. And then if a home needs MEP, then we're closer to about eight or nine if it needs the full MEP and the energy code analysis. We keep it very simple for our builders. We run a flat fee service structure. So they come to us and they're like, we need this. It's this price. Like, it makes it very, very simple for them. They know if they come to us with a new plan or a custom plan or anything like that, everything's just a flat fee line item, keeps it very, very simple. Our portal, our share file, our portal and our share file we rely heavily on because we work in so many states and we service so many builders and have such a significant volume. Kind of give you guys a snapshot of what that looks like is essentially our builders are able to go right into our website and then they can log in and the login takes them to their window. And sorry, this just auto logged me in so you don't get to see it, but they can literally just see everything, every project they have. So if they give you kind of a window here, so if I was to go and sort this down to just one specific builder, it would show every single builder or every single home and where it's at in the process for that builder. It would show that in this window. And then when they want to submit a new project, they literally just click submit new project, type in the project specifics, drag and drop the project files, hit submit, and it's immediately in our lineup. So, you know, the biggest thing I'd say I had the visions and the goals for PLIRIS when we launched, knowing that there was the demand there, was how do we handle the volume of this? And this has been the biggest way we've been able to handle that. And it makes it very, very simple, very streamlined. It's no more, oh, I emailed you that project and it accidentally went to my junk mail, or I emailed it to you, I didn't get it. Like, they hit submit, they get an automated email back saying, hey, we've received it and it's in process and off to the races. So it makes it very, very simple. Very similar structure with how our house plan sales work. Everything basically you go through, you can select it, go through, order it, and then it notifies us that we have an order in process, and then we immediately start working on that deal process. So where it makes that very slick. Share files, we basically have all of our builders, we have all of their background files for all of their homes in a lock share file that we basically have a list of their vendors, their subcontractors and stuff that we basically we just share it with them, and then they have access to individual individual plan, which can have the material takeoffs, their floor framing layouts, the roof truss layouts, everything that's specific to that plan or that entire library of plans. So it just makes it to where it's all in one central area for quick access. So our services for architects and designers. The biggest thing is our marketing of plans on PLIRIS Plans. And we provide a personalized marketing page with all of the designer's contact information. The biggest thing we're trying to do is promote designers. You know, it's your guys' artwork. It's what you've worked on. It's what you've developed. We want to promote that for you. And then if the plans that we have on the website aren't something that person is interested in and they want to get a hold of you directly to design them because they like your design style, great. That's perfect. Let's get them in contact with you. If you have your own, separate library of additional plans or other offerings, it's fine. We get them connected with you. It's more of a bridge. So what our main service is the completion services to get them to a complete plan set. So our hope obviously is take care of the client. Our main bread and butter is not doing the actual home design. Our main bread and butter is marketing the designers and then the completion services. So we also market our plans, the plans that we offer, or really our entire designers libraries to our builders. So we have situations where the builders come to us and say, we're looking to add to our plan library, and they give us, criterion of what they're looking for: building widths, elevation styles, so on and so forth. And so by the larger library that we have available to us, the more designers we have available to us, the more offerings we have to our builders. And then those work great because, we just went through a situation with one of our builders where they work with these large architecture firms, and they do what are called charrettes. Those charrettes for them to get to a single house plan can be $30,000 to $50,000, if not more, and take 6 months to a year. Well, if I have a plan on our website that's close to what they want, and then we're able to make very simplistic modifications, and then with the designers we promote, we're able to get a multi-use license or unlimited use license from that designer. It's far quicker and far less expensive for us to get that streamlined into their lineup. And then they've just added a new plan to their lineup that meets the criteria they're looking for. So we found, a charrette can take 6 months plus, and be $30,000 to $50,000 of just fees to the architect, not including all the overhead of everybody showing up in the meetings. We've been able to streamline that with some of our builders to getting something in their lineup fully engineered, fully ready to go in less than a month with a fee of under $10,000. So it's something that works. The designers set the royalty fee. So this was something we met with multiple designers that promoted on multiple designers that promoted on various websites. And I know we have some designers that have a very good library that they market. What you'll see is the typical is between about anywhere from 25% to a real high of maybe 50% of what your licensing fee is, what the designer gets with those websites. Because our main interest is not just selling the house plan and moving on, our interest is the completion of the plans. We're paying 100% of the royalty fee. So for the designers we already promote, if you go on their website, whatever that flat fee is that they charge for the license on their website, that's what we're paying them. So it makes it really nice that, it makes it nice because one of the design websites we market for, they're also a co-marketer, right? So they are marketing other designers' things on their website. So it's a situation of they aren't, it's getting passed through essentially. So they don't have to worry about me paying them a reduced license fee and then they're paying their designer a reduced license fee. Everything's already set up. The designers we more commonly try and connect with are ones where they are the owners, they're direct. So it's a direct royalty or licensing fee directly to them. And then, like I said, we just look to be providing the completion services. And then we also give the designer first right of refusal on any plan modifications. Some of our designers say, we're too busy, you guys go ahead and handle them. Other designers are like, hey, I could use some hours. Here's my estimate and how long it's going to take me. And then we give that to the client that's seeking that plan and let them go through the rest. And then the last item is just the owners and then the individual plan purchasers. So like I said, we provide the completion services, website purchase plans. So a lot of people, when they buy house plans, this is a common thing we get, and I'll delve more into how I kind of came up with the idea of Pliris in regards to this. But they buy a set of house plans online and they believe, oh, I can just go and submit those for permits. And I paid $1,000 for this house plan, I can go submit it for permits. And I just went through this with a client who bought a set of house plans from a designer that we promote, but they bought them directly from that designer. And then they went to submit them and obviously couldn't get permits and had to explain to them, like, these are services that you need. Well, where I originally came up with the idea with Pliris is, first off, I was in home construction early on and noticed just how variable our prices, our timelines, and really the end results were from our engineers in what seemed like building nearly identical homes. We would have some of our engineers, it'd be a single story, 3,000 square foot house, and I've got 24 hold downs, and every wall has a special nailing pattern, and I'm strapping, and I got portal frame on the garage, and I got all these things. And then we go to another house that's almost identical to it, and I've got 4 hold downs and just a couple walls that are nailed, and the portal frame in the garage, and nothing really crazy. And then pricing would be, that engineer would be $5,000 for the house, that engineer would be $3,000, that one would be $7,000, and then timelines all over the map. And so I just really saw that the home builder was, the custom home builder and even the volume home builder were very underserved from the engineering industry. And then the other thing was, when I was the head of the engineering firm and third-party building department, on almost a weekly basis, we had people coming and submitting to our jurisdictions plans that they had purchased online, only for us to tell them, like, I'm sorry, like, engineering. These aren't to code. There's lots of things that doesn't fit on your site. You know, there's lots of things that need to be addressed here. And it's just they're getting this. Here they were thinking they were saving a bunch of money and time and buying these house plans online to get their home started, only to find out, unfortunately, and then the government official is the one that looks like the meanie, but it's just what it is. And so we had a meeting with it was actually the largest house plan website company there is, and I met with them, and I go, okay, well, how many house plans are you guys selling a month? And they said we average around 1,000. And I said, okay, how many of those actually, where they're being sold, are going to be required to have additional services being brought up to code, engineered, all that other stuff? And they said 90 to 95% of them. So, okay, so that's 900 to 950 house plans a month that they're selling that need these continuation services. And I said, well, how many do you get connected with the completion services? And they said, zero. That's not what we're in. We sell them the plans, and it's up to them to figure everything else out. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that it was basically, here, I'm just going to sell my plans, or they were co-marketing plans for designers. Again, one of the companies that pays the end designer a percentage of what they sell them for. And there was no, those were, and oftentimes those are homes that either A, are never going to get built because the people are flabbergasted by how much it actually costs them to get those plans brought up to code, engineered, and everything, or they're getting surprised with all of these additional expenses that they were going to be incurring to get this stuff done. So we really wanted to just provide a very simplistic, streamlined process, honest, clear, right up front with our stuff. So when you look at our plans that we market, we provide what the complete out the door price is. So this home here, we're 3-bedroom, 3-bath, about 2,900 square feet. The total permit package, so this is everything they would need, and this isn't like something that's variable depending on where they're at or what the design criteria is. This is basically complete plan set out the door, and this also includes the licensing fee. In this case, it's Masscore Designs. This would include the licensing fee to the designer, as well as things to bring it up to code, their engineering, their MEP if that's required, and so on and so forth. So we provide this very, yes, it's obviously more. If I was to go to the Masscore website, the licensing fee for this house is probably around $1,900, $2,000. So obviously I'm selling it for more, but I'm providing a one-stop shop service, and they know that in the end they're going to be going to permits. And then we're very much about, we don't go back and say, oh, you owe us more money because there's plan review letters or anything like that. That's the price they pay. So we keep it very, very simple. So kind of give you a quick insight into our portal. So I won't dive too much into that, but this is really what we use for everything. We built this out specifically for our needs, our uses. So it's got all, it's got all of it. It does everything. So we can run our deals through it. We run our contact management through it. You saw on our website, we have a bot robot. All conversations go right to there, which I have somebody that monitors all those conversations and gets them properly taken care of. All of our projects go through this process here. And then what's nice is everything is monitored right through here. So if I've got a situation of, say we've got a house that we're going through and we've got emails back and forth with the client, files with it, everything saves right to this hub. And so it makes it very simple. So there's our client contact, the builder, here's project files, any specialty notes, any email correspondence, any specialty tasks. We can also record phone calls throughout here. And then we just, as we go through it, we literally check complete, hit save, and it goes to the next thing. And then it'll auto-generate a task for whoever's next responsible for that project. And so the entire project team is set at the initial intake. And so then as it goes through each process, it automatically notifies who in the team is responsible and assigns them a task. So that's kind of a background into our whole process. And then these are some new things that we're really loving. So I posted a little video about it yesterday. Some new things that we're adding to our system that is getting some of our builders really excited. But oh, random note. We're embedding QR links. And so as I explained, we have a share file system with our builders. We have a QR link that we're now starting to embed. And so kind of I hit two birds here, but this is if the builder, whoever is scanning it, has access to the share file or has permissions, they can just scan this. If it's items on the share file that they need permissions, then they need permissions. But we're going to be starting to add this to like detail assemblies. So window assemblies, flashing, wall cavity assemblies, structural connections, certain kind of hangers, hold downs, and so forth. We're going to be adding QR codes to them that basically takes them to a video walkthrough of how this assembly is supposed to go together, how that hold down is supposed to be installed, what kind of fasteners are required, those kinds of elements, because those are things that we get questions sometimes from in the field. And it's very simple for us to create a QR code. A lot of our vendors and suppliers have installation videos, have project spec packets, and we can just provide those guys in the field a direct link to that information. So in the case of this one links to what's called one of the other things that we're starting to work on, which is our building envelope reference manual. The building envelope reference manual, we work with the builders depending on either their development or the climate region they're in. It automatically takes us directly to what we've worked with that builder to create. And so in the case of this one, let me see. This one, yeah. So a building envelope reference manual we make it very specific to whatever the client's common materials, their region, the energy codes for that area. And we have a building envelope specialist on staff. And then we basically create this entire manual. And then instead of the guys in the field having questions about anything about, well, this guy installs them this way and this person installs them this way, we have this is exactly how you're supposed to install it, period. No questions about it. And then if they change suppliers or they change manufacturers, we can adjust this on the fly. And again, with the QR code system, what's nice is if I have a file path set up, that QR code goes to that file path. So even if I have to go into the file and make edits to it, as long as I don't change a file path reference or I go into the properties of that QR code and change it, they always get a direct link right to it. So they're always going to the most up-to-date version of it. And then, as I explained, doing the QR codes with the detail videos. So these are things we're also, the QR codes and for standard items and for detail videos is something we're going to start offering on even the plans that are sold on our website. And with all of our builders, the berm is something that we do as a pretty significant extra with our larger volume builders and stuff. So hopefully I didn't talk too fast. I know I do that sometimes, but this is my contact information. And kind of the separation is PLIRIS is more of what we have focused on our builders. And then PLIRIS Plans is what we have focused on promoting our designers. So that's the separation of the two main companies. So this was built to basically just be our house plan management marketing tool to connect with builders. And then we also have, like I said, we have a direct link if people are just shopping for plans, direct link to this, and then we get right to our house plan website. So I know that was a lot of information in 30 minutes there. So, but that's my presentation. I'd love to answer any questions if you have them.
All right. So that the last sheet or last presentation slide you had up with your information on it.
Yes, sir.
If you could either screenshot that or just send me that last slide, I would love it, because at the end of this video, I'm going to make sure that is on there. So people can get right a hold of you no matter when they look at this video. Oops, sorry, forgot about bringing this down. So we do have a couple of questions so far. The first one was from me.
Yeah.
And my first question was, I was looking at the plan that you had up. You showed the square footage, and I just want to clarify your square footage, what it includes. Is it just the heated area, or does it include the garage as well?
Conditioned space. We always
Okay,
market conditioned space. Mm-hmm.
because that has a lot for some of us. I know I charge generally by the square foot. If I'm not charging a percentage of the complete project, then I'm doing it by the square foot, and it's always conditioned. I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page. That was the big thing. Um, Larry asks what state you're licensed in.
Oh boy, I got a big list. It's so
Would it be easier to say what state you're not licensed in?
right. Well, I'm going to preface it to basically say this. So there's only there's only two states that I won't ever get licensed in, which is Alaska and Hawaii. They've written their rules, and their jurisdictions have written rules that make it very, very difficult for out-of-state engineers to work in those states. They pretty much almost always require somebody local. I am on the NCEES registry. So the majority of states I'm not licensed in, I can get licensed in a matter of a couple of weeks. But essentially, I'm licensed in everything in the Northwest all the way up to Texas. And then I'm licensed from Georgia up the coastline to New York. So everything in the Midwest. I personally am in Florida, Alabama, all the Southeast states. I can get my license in a matter of a couple of weeks, with the exception of Texas. Texas requires a full FBI background check, and I haven't submitted for that yet. So me getting my license in a state before, if you think about it, we sell a house plan. The one I just had, it was that the client was not happy that they bought a set of house plans and then couldn't get a permit. And I'd explain to them, like, this is just what it is. You need these things done. They were in New Hampshire, and I called the New Hampshire Board of Engineers, and it was on a Monday, and she said, if you applied today, you would have it by this weekend. So that's pretty common. Is within
Wow.
1 to 3 weeks, I'll have my stamp. So never had me not being able to get my stamp, be an issue.
You have a bunch of architects right now going, "What? Wait a minute."
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the NCES has really made it easy for licensed engineers, because once we have the reciprocity, once we're licensed, well, I would also preface that I got licensed in the most difficult state to begin with, which was California, and then once I was licensed there, everybody else accepted it. So
Okay. Um, Lori, Audrey and I both love that manual, by the way. The
Yeah.
ability to QR code into something, that's just, yeah, it's amazing. Um, Lori asked, what do you require designers to provide in their plan sets? If
Yeah.
you do the engineering, how do you handle field changes if you are not local to where it is being built? So it's two questions. What do you expect in our plan sets, and then how do you deal with field changes if you're not in the area?
Yeah. So we have a standards list for the plans, and basically just what we and it's a standard list that you're gonna find from pretty much any house plan company you connect with. The big one that I was talking about that I mentioned that we met with a long time ago um, was Hanley Wood. I think Hanley Wood has since changed hands and changed some names, but we they were very nice and worked with us a lot and actually provided us a lot of their initial contract information and other stuff. So we kind of use that as a template and we met with a couple other design companies as well, or house plan website companies as well, and they had very, very similar standards. And so if you're interested in those standards, you can feel free to email me. I'm glad to send them to you. And then, the biggest thing isn't so much when well, with designers, I'll separate designers and licensed architects. Um, this is a volume game. You post this is up there forever. We're marketing it. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's a volume game. So you're getting essentially residual passive income, and in many cases, a house plan that um, that you may have designed 15, 20 years ago and somebody paid you to design it and now it's posted and you get a residual check every time it sells. And what I've had difficulty with some people understanding is that that's what this is. So when I have an art, some people are like, well, I want to market it with you, but you're telling me you're only going to pay me $1,500 when it sells. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, that's about what they go. That's unfortunately what the market supports. And so, meeting the standards for a set of plans is probably no different than what you would have to meet for it to be a complete architectural set of plans. Uh, it's understanding like you're not going to be getting paid $10,000 every time it sells. You're going to be getting paid $1,000, $1,500 if and when it sells. Um, and then design field changes, those kinds of things. We've been working in a remote environment for a long time. If we have structural observations, we have a checklist and a standards. We have a checklist in which we request the contractor to, check off these things, take some photos or shoot a video. We're always available. I've got multiple team members in different time zones that are always available to jump on a call, a video call to discuss what's going to be changed, or just jump on a video chat. Um, we did over 1,000 houses last year. A very small percentage of them had field changes or modifications and stuff, but every single one that we did remotely. So it hasn't proven an issue yet.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Lori also asks if your turnaround time on a revision is quicker than what hours would be, and she
Oh,
said hers, but hours. In other words, if we just were to say 2 weeks, and you're saying 3 or 4 days, do you tell the buyer that?
so I'm assuming you're meaning like if they wanted plan modifications.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's um, like I said, it's we give you guys first right of refusal. So if you say, hey, I want it, like there again, it's your design. You say, hey, I want it. It's going to be this price and it's going to take me this long. Well, there's two things you got to consider there. The client may say, never mind, I'm going to find a different plan, or they're going to go with it. Or if you look at your schedule and you're like, I'm just, I'm busy. Like,
Mhm.
okay, maybe 3 to 4 weeks. At 3 to 4 weeks out, there's a likelihood the client's going to go somewhere else. And you just need to realize like, I'm busy. If you're like sitting around, you're like, I can get on this tonight or tomorrow, then just do it kind of thing. but we're never going to step on the designer's toes and say, you're too busy or you're too expensive. We're gonna do it for you. Like we're gonna give you the option and to take it or not take it, or to do the design modifications or not do the design modifications. We're not going to push you out of the way.
Good. Um, Larry asks, how many designers do you market currently?
So we currently have two major websites or two major designers that we have on our website. That's Alan Mascord Designs. They're out of Oregon. And then we have Design Basics. They're out of Oak, Nebraska. Those are our two main ones. And so between those, we have a library. We have access to their whole library. So that's about 4,000 plans. We have another 4 or 5 designers that we're basically, they haven't marketed anything with us yet. But when they sell a house plan, they refer them to us immediately. So it's an immediate notification to us as a contact to reach out to them that they need completion services. So.
And Joe has added a little bit to that. He wants to know how big your present team is.
How big is our current? We're about a dozen.
Okay. And then Ethan says, working on some stock plans. He wants to know the best way to get with you or your team to start the process of stock plans, which I think all of us want to know what the best way to do that is. Is it just sending you an email and getting in touch with you?
Yeah, you
Uh,
shoot me an email. I'll get you a meeting link. You can just access my calendar and we can line up about an hour and we can just talk through it. I can send you what our standards lists are, what our contract looks like, and all of that. And we're also not um, one of the big questions we get from like some of the bigger designers that do market on other websites is, like they're like, well, we market with this website, but they have a non-compete, but really the non-compete says you can't sell the plan for less on a different website. And so where we obviously thwart that is because we're providing the completion services, we market the house plan as a full complete plan set. We're never going to be less than what Hanley Wood or any of those other ones are going to market your plans for. So because we have other things added into it.
that's good.
Yeah.
Joe also says, do you have someone on your team you can modify plans using soft plan? Yeah, a lot of us do use soft plan. Uh,
Yeah. We had one builder that we worked with soft plan. We used to have a soft plan license. I don't think we've kept it. I don't think we've kept that active anymore. Everything we do, we've converted over to CAD.
hmm.
We have CAD and SketchUp. So
Larry wants to know, how do you actually do the engineering on the plans? Marked up PDFs?
so yeah, so here's I'll show you here's a complete plan package. Um, this this was an original design done by Alan Mascord Designs that then was a multi-use license was sold to the builder, and then um, they connected them with us, and then the builder had lots and lots of modifications, and so we just went through and got a couple examples here. Um, we went through and worked with them and basically created this full architectural package. And then other things that you don't see here is like, um, when these get sold to a builder, then the builder's going, okay, I want options, I want elevation differences. And so like, we'll have window appearance options 1 through 11. We'll have deck railing options 1 through 16. Um, siding options 1 through 8, and then basically, we build that all with the client. And so go through, you got everything, as far as the full architectural plan, which again, the framework for this is what they purchased when they bought the multi-use license. And then we get all the building envelope, project specific, zone specific building envelope. And then this is what a full structural engineering package will look like. So we actually are taking whatever plans you provide us, we're creating a full separate structural packet background for.
Okay.
So, and then typically, for this particular home, for this particular builder, the designer's logo isn't on it because they use these as marketing to their people that are buying their homes. And just give you an idea, this is like a 1,400 square foot house, and I think the starting price on this house is like 1.8 million because of where it goes. So they want a nice clean set. Most pretty much every other builder we work with, when we have a house plan set, that is a designer that's, even if they bought the multi-use license, the designer's logo will be right up here or will be above the title block. So every plan set that goes out, that their logo's on there.
So you let the designer know prior to it going out whether or not it's got to be a clean set or not.
Well, in this case, this builder bought a large, basically bought an entire plan library worth of plans from this designer and bought the multi-use license.
Right.
And then, for all of them, and then that designer connected us with that builder, and then we just took everything from there. We made it that the designer knew when they were being purchased what was going to happen with them.
Yeah, that's what I meant. When they're being purchased, they know automatically what's going to happen because of the type of license that's being sold.
Correct.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, but then
I will say that
there's also the agreement that regardless of how many what modifications we make to these plans, this builder can't go and then come to me and go, well, you modified those plans, they're now a different plan, I want you to market them on your website for me. Like
right.
that's not allowed. We've had builders ask, that's not allowed.
That's an important one for us, let me tell you.
Yeah. So
John Jones had wanted to see if you were going to make an exception for chief architect and go with that.
I do. Yeah. Soft plan and chief architect are both great tools for the home designer, but when we're taking it and then we're making a structural engineering packet from it, we're going to convert it to CAD. So whether, and luckily with the full version of AutoCAD, they've actually now created some amazing plugins. I think they finally added them to the light version that makes a very simple, streamlined conversion from chief architect or soft plan to an AutoCAD base. It used to not. For those of you guys that work in AutoCAD and work in soft plan, the export from soft plan used to come across as 0 layers. So
yes.
Everything that you exported had no properties whatsoever. They've since improved that, and that's made our lives a lot easier. The builder we worked with soft plan, they didn't have that tool out yet. They didn't have that plugin out yet. And so we had an entire library of about 40 house plans that it was quicker for us to go through and literally just redraw them. We imported the PDF as a background and just redrew all of them. It was quicker.
So. Joe asks, does the designer get a copy of your structural drawings for their design once completed? In other words, if you've done one for a builder, would we be able to get the copy of it just for our library, just so we would have it to see what was been done with our?
Yeah, I mean, everything's project specific, right? So with our design criteria, we're designing it specific to the lot. So
yeah,
I mean it's and then if you sell yeah, I mean I've never had that asked before. So if you're kind of just wondering what an end design looks like for that house, yeah, no problem sharing that. So
okay,
but that's what that design, this, like these houses I just showed you, these are directly on the water just outside of Seattle. That design criteria is going to be way different where I'm at. The engineering is going to look way different where I'm at,
Hmm.
so it's just, or where you're at. So it's
Right.
gives you kind of, I guess, a rough idea, but
Um, Lori says that that designer that sold the multi-use, he definitely said, "Sure, go ahead, take off my logo. I just sold you a whole library."
yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Somebody wanted to buy all my plans from me and gave me a pretty decent price. I'd be like, "Yeah, take my logo off. I'm okay."
Right.
um, and Stella, I do believe that if it's just AutoCAD and SketchUp, Revit's probably not included, but you can take AutoCAD and put it into Revit, can't you?
Revit's an AutoCAD based, it's a
Yeah.
CAD based program. So we don't work with Revit, but we can easily import Revit into our CAD.
Okay.
That one,
Sorry,
that one's
Stella.
fine.
I don't use Revit, so I
Yeah,
tried it one time and couldn't do
yeah.
it. um, John John says he missed some of this, so he's gonna have to go back and rewatch it. Um, Are your plans sealed for permits in the local jurisdictions the buyers are in? If so, do you use an electronic seal, which can help protect you and the designer from plan theft?
So I'm glad you asked. So this disclaimer is directly on all of our plans. So this is the best way we found to protect our stuff. So we have a date and time stamp that is we basically date and time, or date stamp in 3 places and have a time stamp as well. And all of those have to be within 48 hours of each other. Um, and then when we submit them, they're submitted with an encrypted signature. So then if the jurisdiction is specifically requesting a non-encrypted, they have to email us and then we send it to the jurisdiction directly. That's the only way we found to keep unlicensed reproduction from occurring.
You might want to share that with all the licensed architects so they can figure out how to do that when they do theirs.
Yeah, so if I took this one, this is something we have that just automates right in AutoCAD. So it prints the file path, the exact time this file was created, and then that correlates also to the date in our title block, and then my stamp will also have the signature date as will my encrypted signature.
Oh,
And my
okay.
encrypted signature has the exact date and time that I signed. So they look at all those, and if those differ, then it's voided. And then with the encrypted signature, there's not a you can't you can't modify them in a PDF modifier unless you were to print them out, scan them back in, scan them in as a PDF, and then go in and start modifying them. But the direct ones that we send, you know, you never be able to thwart them all. If they want to get crafty enough,
Yeah,
they're going to find a way. But this is um, this is one of the best ways we found to protect ourselves from that.
that's good.
Yeah.
So Joe explains why he was asking about the copy.
Right. So
Um,
we become the point of contact.
okay.
So when you sell, if we sell a set of plans, um, it, you know, all you're providing is the license, and then that's it. We're their point of contact for everything. So you paid for, they paid the licensing fee, and then we're that from there forward. Now, if you were the designer, like let's say you came to us and you said, hey, I need engineering services, Royal, can you help me out? And it wasn't a situation of it was a set of house plans sold from us. Yeah, they're your client, right? You're gonna get a PDF set of our structural engineering as well. So
Now,
it's different different avenues there.
sure. Now you had mentioned in your presentation that you had a flat fee for builders for your
Mhm.
services. Do you also have a flat fee for designers?
Yeah, so for all of our stuff, we basically have a spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet it's basically like 8 items, and you just drag and drop. And so that's a bill. It makes it to where it's really easy for us to bid a project.
Hmm.
And it's a range. So it's this range of square footage. If it's this many stories, you got these many decks, this many patios, and then do we have to do? And then what other items do we have to do? Do we have to do MEP? Do we have to bring it up to code? Are we doing your site plan, your landscape plan, your erosion control plan? Those are all things. And so the only thing that's variable, an MEP plan, MEP for us, erosion control, site plan, all those things, those are all flat fee items. They're 200 to 400, just flat fee. The only thing that's variable is the engineering, which we base on square footage, how many stories, and then decks and patios. And that's it.
So is this something that if I were to have something, and I do, I always need structural engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if I had a set of plans almost ready,
Yep.
you have something to where I could go and hit the drop downs that I could find out what would cost me if I send it over to you, so I can because I have to be able to recoup that from my customer.
Right. So um, I don't have anything I fully share, but here. I'll just show it to you here because like I said, we keep it really simple. The simpler you can keep this stuff, the better.
Sure.
Um, so, like, let's say we took this one. This is your total enclosed
You're
area.
not sharing.
Oh, there we go. One more button I had to click. All right.
Just one more.
All right. So, so if we had, up to a 3,000 square foot house, you got, typical covered porch, 2 stories, trusses, slab on grade. There's your
Okay.
engineering. I mean, it's just,
That.
it's that. And then this is all the architectural stuff. So, um, if you needed MEP, if you needed just mechanical, electrical, plumbing, if you needed everything, that's not right. That's too much. So, all right. I think I got too much in there. I got to adjust that one. But let's say we needed to bring it up to codes. You need a site plan. You need a landscape plan, and you need an erosion control plan. There you go. So
Okay.
those are something's off. Those are all 2 times actually. I think what we typically charge. So, um, and then like so here what we have, we've got our different plan providers. I got Ross Chapin. That's another one we work with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's your BIM or Revit. Whoever was asking about that, we have just a conversion fee. This would apply for chief architect, soft plan, BIM, Revit. Um, and then we have our licensing fee.
Mm-hmm.
We just go through. So it keeps it very simple. Um, but this is essentially what we kick out. But if you were looking for just engineering, this is literally all we do is just these items here.
Okay. So if I had a preliminary plan that was getting ready, or if I even had an idea,
Mm-hmm.
basically, if I had just my initial conversation with my homeowner, had some kind of an idea that it's going to be about this many square footage, a two-story house with a three-car garage, a rear covered porch, and a front porch, I
Yep.
could probably get real close to whatever you're going to charge for engineering.
Yeah.
I just email the information to you and get kind of a base quote so that I can share it with them and go from
Yeah,
there.
actually you really gave me a good idea because really we're in the process of I've we're about to relaunch both. This is why I wasn't able to present 6 months ago when we tried, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've told you, but I had a very important person that came on with Pliris very early on, and um, all of a sudden he got diagnosed with a brain tumor and was in hospice and dead very quickly thereafter. But anyways, he was my web guy. He was my marketing guy. Our entire portal, he built most of that. So, um, I was supposed to present to you guys about 6 months ago, and that was when all that went down. So,
Yeah.
um, anyways, but we're about to relaunch our new website, and actually, I could embed this in our website. So for everybody here, any designer, like, hey, I'm trying to get an idea what engineering is going to cost. I got no problem embedding this into where you guys can just enter in the square footage, decks, stories, and then it just kicks out what the price is.
That would probably help. I know for me that would help because
Mm-hmm.
I'm I struggle with with, I wonder if I'm going to eat any of this. I'll give them a say a $3,000 engineering fee, and then it comes in at 3,800, and I'm
Right.
going, well, there, I just lost any profit I had. So yeah, I get that. Um,
Yeah, and you're very kind to do that. I've been in this I've been in this industry so long. I really and I know you have as well, but
yeah,
it's you know uh, our fee is nothing compared to what it costs to build a house. So,
no,
for us to make make $1,000 on a project, we shouldn't be feeling guilty about that. You know,
no.
I
Profit
had,
is not a dirty word.
yeah, we had a very large, fancy custom home builder we worked with, and I remember one time we were working on a house for him, and the build cost on the house was about $2.5 million. And he was complaining to me about my bill because he was like, I'm only making $25,000 to build this house. And I was like, and meanwhile, he was in San Diego at the Super Bowl when he called me to let me know that he didn't like my bill. And I was like, well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
uh, that's nice that you're only making 25,000. You should have structured your contract a little differently. Like,
Yeah,
because
no doubt. He
if
was
your
making,
bill costs $2.5 million and you're only making 25,000, you're doing something really, really wrong. So,
yeah, that's
uh,
less than 1%.
yeah, and enjoy your box seats at the Super Bowl in San
Yeah.
Diego right now. Thanks.
And there's where all your profit went, by the
Right.
way.
So,
um,
um,
so Joe is asking, can you and would you register in a Canadian province? So you do
I'm
know that
not
we are worldwide, right?
right. Yeah. I've explored Canada. I have not registered any Canadian provinces. Um, and I have a podcast coming out here that uh, we work now with an ADU company, and we do
Mhm.
they franchise, and now they're in like 29 locations. And I asked them the same question. I said, "Are you guys expanding into looking to expand into California or into Canada?" And they're like, "Well, we've looked at it, but the population of Canada is less than the population of California, and so we're already based in California." And I'm like, I'm like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense. And I didn't realize that. That's not a statistic I knew, but um, Canada's not off the plate, not off the plate because their codes and design criteria and stuff are really good. And actually, the main the main the main company that really the U.S. uses for our wood design codes is actually Woodworks, which is a Canadian,
Mhm.
which is based out of Canada. So it wouldn't be difficult for me to get my license up there if that was something. It would take me a little longer than just a few weeks, but um, if there was a builder or a designer that needed services at a decent volume, absolutely, we would consider it.
So Joe, you got to send him at least 10 plans that need his services, and then he can do it.
Right.
So he
And
wanted to
then,
know why that was so funny. By the way, I think
all
he's
right,
getting
now you
ready to
got it.
throw
Yeah.
down. You got Canada up there, man. They're getting ready to throw down. They're gonna have a beer and then come at you.
Yeah. So, and then to answer to Lori's question, there is no minimum number. Just know the more you get on there, the more exposure you get. And we used to do this thing, and I want to bring it back. We used to do what I called floor plan Fridays, where every Friday I was posting a video of me featuring a plan and doing a walkthrough on it and stuff. But um, it's I want more individual designers to do that for. We're really starting to see more our traffic and our social media is, we're getting thousands of views. We're getting thousands of views within the first 24 hours of us posting something now. So I want us to get more designers so I can start going back and doing those floor plan Fridays where they're just the full YouTube video is maybe 9 minutes, 10 minutes, but we're pulling out snippets and highlights and using that as media content. And then we're putting the designer's information in there. So if anything, somebody sees that design and gets that exposure.
Well, that's great. Um, Anybody else have any questions? Any comments? Any ideas? And I'm sorry, Joe. I come from a like I come from Erie, PA, which is like right across the street from Canada. So trust me, I get it.
So yeah,
So Joe
thank
applauds
you.
you for providing your service. He sees that you're going to grow, which I
Thank
believe
you.
is true
Appreciate it.
because a service like yours is not. It's not the status quo. This is not the way we've always done it. Thank God.
Well, that was kind of, I mean, being a builder, and then and then I came on with an engineering firm, and I saw the engineering firm, they treated the house plans like, ah, whatever, like,
Mhm.
just let the intern work on those. And oh yeah, you did it with 20 hold downs and crazy. Yeah, that building will stand up and throws it out. Like, that's added costs, it's added complexities, it's added everything to the builders. And then wood design codes have changed a lot, just in the last decade. And we see regularly these builders that we're talking with that are using older engineers, that they aren't even using current design codes or methods, that is resulting in a lot of extra hardware and materials and other stuff that just aren't needed. So um, the other thing I didn't show, but we do a 3D model of all of the homes that we do. If the home works with the modeling software has its own nuances, but we do a 3D model of the homes, and it accounts for all the loads, all the walls, all the variables with the wind loading and seismic loading, and it makes for a very, very efficient design. Just the those houses I showed you that were going in on the water outside of Seattle, the typical for those had 12 to 20 hold downs for a little
Wow.
1,400 to 1,800 square foot house, and we did it on a 3D model, and I think we were averaging 4 to 6 hold downs, and much simpler shear wall systems, and no interior shear walls, or a rare few here and there, which add a lot of difficulty and expense. So it's important for engineers to stay up on that and to optimize the building.
Yeah. I'm being told constantly that I have to stop engineering my own houses. I have to let the engineer do it.
So
Just so you know, and I don't know if you realize this, but I know Soft Plan will do this, and I think Chief Architect will do this as well. But our 3D models can be uh, exported as a SketchUp model.
yeah.
Is that something that would help your modeling? If the designer were to do that with it, like for those of us who have the ability, I think Revit will do it too, but
Yeah,
Revit works with AutoCAD, so
it's a different software. We draw everything in 2D, and then we have to enter in the parameters so that
oh
they don't. It's not the modeling software isn't CAD based at all. So we basically, how we work it is, we import the PDF as a background, the PDF of the floor plan, um, and then we attack it like that. So
I see. That makes a little more sense. I wasn't sure if that was something that if you didn't realize it was available.
yeah.
Uh,
No, but the chief architect, the renderings that come from chief architect or SketchUp, or is it Sam Morgan that has the
yeah.
the the rendering stuff? Renderings are great, but what we found, and the advancement in the renderings have definitely um, massively improved over the last 5 to 10 years. Because I mean, the data really showed, when with house plan sales, is that the homes that had professional photos versus the renderings, that sold far more often. Now, though, with the high resolution of the renderings that you're getting, that percentage difference is not nearly as what it used to be. So I'd say, if you have plans that are like, hey, I think these these are specialty enough, or these are something that somebody would really want. Um, the if it's been built, professional photos. If it hasn't been built, invest in the high resolution renderings. That's going to be that those are going to it's going to promote them better. They're going to sell more.
And we do have a lot of folks on the Facebook site who can help you with renderings. Sam Morgan has a company that I've used, and they do some amazing renderings. It's helped me a couple of times. Uh, so, anyways, everybody's thanking you. I think people are starting to have to get off because of
Yeah.
work. We've went over the 1 hour, which is fine. We do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say there's probably time though to go. So if there's anything else that you'd like to ask real quick, go ahead and let me know. If not, any last words that you have for us before we head out?
Oh, I appreciate you having me.
Yep, appreciate you coming on. Thanks for getting back with me again when you were ready to do this. That helped us a lot, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Thank you for the understanding on that.
yep,
That was a big blow,
yeah, I
to
can imagine.
yeah. So, but I appreciate it.
So we are going to head on out here. I'm going to have it's probably going to be about 20 seconds, and then I'm going to hit the end button. So thank you, Royal. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. And this will be on the website probably within the weekend. So, uh, everybody, thanks, and I will see you at another time. Bye.